Hi, I'm the Neuroneer. I'm a lecturer in psychology and my channel is all about empowering people to reclaim their brains. This video is going to be about how to use a photographic mood journal. So I'm going to cover what a photographic mood journal is, how you might use one, and why it might be beneficial in the first place. Really simply speaking, a mood journal is a nice way for us to keep track of our weekly or even hourly emotions. Traditionally, when you keep a mood journal, you take notice of when you notice a change in your mood and you write that down along with a heap of other data. A photographic mood journal is a little bit different in that we are going to be recording our moods using photographs instead of a whole load of, really time-consuming writing. How to use a photographic mood journal. In this section, I'm going to cover choosing the type of journal you want to use, deciding how often to journal, setting reminders, getting started with journaling, and reviewing your journal periodically. So when it comes to choosing the app you want to use, there's lots of different options. I use Pinterest just because it's an app I'm already really familiar with and really enjoy using, so I'm more likely to actually open it up and use it for my mood journal. You could try using Facebook, like a private folder on Facebook, Instagram, photo folders on your smartphone or tablet, and there's a whole heap of dedicated mood journal apps on the Google Play Store, and I'm sure on the Apple iPhone Store as well. I can see Dailyo, Mood Tracker, CBT, Mood Tracker, and Thought Diary, Mood Flow, Pixels. So there seems to be a heap of options out there. All you need is the ability to save photos every few hours and the ability to save a short piece of text or a comment with that photo. So when deciding how often to do an entry in your photographic mood journal, things to think about is 1, how often is necessary for my purpose, and 2, how often is realistic for me. If you're using the journal just sort of out of curiosity, you want to get to know your moods a little bit more, you think exercise might be fun, then clearly you don't need to be that strict about it. If you were using the mood journal to keep sort of, more stringent data on the connection between your moods and different internal and external stimulus, and you want to be a bit more analytical, then you probably need to be entering a little bit more often than that. So the next step is to just set some reminders for yourselves. How many times have we tried to implement some amazingly healthy new behavior, like drinking more water or making our bed every single day, and it's lasted all of about 2 days? This is not because you are particularly disorganized or lazy. It's because the brain and our behaviors are largely comprised of a whole heap of automatic behaviors that you develop pretty much accidentally over time. If you really enjoy keeping a photographic mood journal, then it will probably become a habit over time. But until then, do your brain and yourself a favor and set some prompts for yourself. Starting journaling. So you can do entries when your alarms go off or just when you notice a significant change in mood. I tend to do a little bit of both. So I've got 3 notifications that go off throughout the day, but I also make an entry if I notice something of particular interest in between. So perhaps I'm feeling a little bit anxious, or I notice that I'm actually feeling really content in a given moment, then I'll do an entry as well. So when either our reminder goes off or we notice a change in our mood, we're going to do 3 things. So number 1 is noticing how you're feeling. Number 2 is choosing an image that best represents that emotion for you. And number 3 is just adding a quick comment with the time and any other relevant information. So just take a moment to draw your attention to your internal experience. What are you feeling? Are you feeling not much at all, maybe a tiny bit agitated, really stressed, pretty content, happy? Maybe you're feeling multiple emotions. If you're having trouble identifying what you're feeling in a given moment, it can also be really useful to sort of draw your attention to what you're feeling in your body, because really the way that we know how we're feeling a particular emotion is through physical sensation. So it could be that we're sweaty, or we feel a bit off in the stomach, our jaw is clenched, or our chest is tight. So right now, I think I'm feeling pretty chill and content. So next I'm going to choose an image that best represents the mood or moods I'm feeling right now. If you're feeling multiple feelings at the same time, which is often the case, you can either find multiple images or find an image that you feel accurately kind of represents that combination of moods. What you choose is obviously pretty subjective, it's up to you. The only real guideline, I think, is to avoid choosing facial expressions or pictures of somebody else feeling the emotion you're feeling. The idea is to begin to actually separate ourselves from our feelings. So I guess instead of seeing ourselves as sort of inseparable from our moods or feeling that we are our feelings, we want to sort of choose something external to represent them. I think a nice way to conceptualize what I'm feeling at the moment is a sort of soft breeze. So in Pinterest, I would type soft breeze or cool breeze or warm breeze into the search bar and just see what pops up. You might need to fiddle around with the keywords a little bit to get just the right image. If you're using your photo folder in your phone or Instagram or Facebook or something else, then you might just want to use Google Images or something similar to that. And again, you'll probably need to fiddle around with the keywords a little bit. I actually really like taking my time choosing just the right image for my emotions because I feel like I actually learn a lot about my emotions by thinking about those subtle differences between them. And it's nice for sort of intense emotions too, because as I'm thinking about what just the right picture to represent that emotion is, it's almost like a mindfulness type exercise. And sometimes even by the time I've selected the right image, the emotion has actually settled a bit as well. So the next thing we want to do is add a comment with the time and any other relevant data. I don't want to spend too long on this. I just want to make a couple of notes about the time and anything else that might be relevant. Again, it's supposed to be fun, so I don't want to turn this into like a really time-consuming and arduous task. So on Pinterest, I can add a comment by opening up the photo I've saved, holding it down, clicking edit and adding a comment. It might differ from phone to phone. If you're using a Google image you've saved in your phone or a photo you've taken, it probably differs from phone to phone, but on most of them in the edit function, you can select add text like this. On Facebook, you can add a caption and you can also choose whether the album is going to be private or public. If you are a little bit more open about this stuff, I have also thought of maybe using Instagram to keep a kind of public mood journal, and then you can save your time, emotion and comments in the comment section when you're editing the photo as well. Like I said, there's also a bunch of apps dedicated to mood journaling in the Google Play Store, and I'm sure the Apple Store has a heap as well, so you could take a look at those. So what you start to end up with is this really beautiful kind of photographic record of all of the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of your moods on a weekly and daily basis. Really quickly, by looking at this, I can see periods where my mood was quite consistent, and I can also see periods where it was a little bit tumultuous. It can serve as a nice kind of barometer to detect periods where moods last a bit longer, you might be under a little bit of pressure, and you might need to investigate further or do some self-care. So for instance, I can see that I'm often outdoors when I'm feeling really relaxed, and I can see that after I catch up with a particular friend, I usually feel really hopeful and excited. I am really new to this YouTube caper, so every new like, comment or subscription really does end in a giant family-sized dump of dopamine on my brain, closely followed by a seal-like clap, a squeal, or a silent happy dance. So if you feel like I deserve a comment or a like, show me some love, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching.